In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order.
As we discovered, we are being lied to by the politicians who are using the techniques of doublespeak, pacifying or emotive language, and or selections of quotes out of context to manipulate us into voting yes. First they used the tactic of fear-mongering, and now they're pacifying us by saying it's just another boring treaty. Their tactics may change, but their techniques remain consistent.
I think Bertie Ahern or others who are actually talking about the treaty aren't actually giving the facts of the matter. They talk in very broad terms about you'll be badly affected, or you want to make a bigger and a better EU. But in fact, if you actually look at the specific proposals in the Treaty of Lisbon, which is the EU constitution renamed and repackaged, specific proposals are very much against our interests. Do we want to abolish the veto in 60 more areas? Do we want laws to be made on the basis of population, largely, where the big states have more people and therefore they've got more power? Do we want to be without an EU commissioner for 5 years out of every 15? How is that in our interest? Do we want to give the EU the right to decide our rights? Where are the benefits? It's very hard to point.
If the Lisbon Treaty passed and that's what happened, the powers were making all the decisions, and you were living in the new Europe, which you were just describing there, is that a European Union you would like Ireland to be in?
Absolutely not. It would be profoundly undemocratic. We were a province once again. I mean, those who fought and sought an independent Irish state wanted a state where the Irish people would make the laws, would decide the basic policy of the state, would behave in the international community as an independent, sovereign, democratic state. Joining a European superstate and make us a province of that would be the very reverse of that. The people in 1916 went out to stand for the unfettered control of Irish destinies. How is it the unfettered control of Irish destinies to have most of our laws made by the European Union in Brussels, and to give them more power to make more laws, which is what's proposed under the Lisbon Treaty, and to give more power to the big states in making those laws? It doesn't make sense. So if it were brought off, if they do bring off the Lisbon Treaty, and they're going to deny citizens in all the other countries a referendum on it, and it's basically the same thing as the French and Dutch rejected, if it's brought off, I've not the least doubt there will be huge democratic reactions down the road in all the European countries where there's some sense of democracy and that citizens must have a say.
I've heard quotes from some politicians and prime ministers from Europe, and basically they're saying that the local people don't know how to run anything, and they shouldn't be trusted to make important decisions, and it's best not to tell them the full truth.
That's right, and we have a lot of quotes even around this treaty to that effect. Well, I know there's one Irish MEP who has said very plainly to me, I don't believe in referendums. The people elect us, we're the experts, they don't fix their own plumbing. We know about this, and they should just leave it to us.
Would that be a majority view?
Well, he's maybe more honest than others in the way he expresses it, but certainly I had a long chat with a guy from the Chinese embassy in Brussels, and I was putting to him about having elections in China, and he said, oh no, he said, we couldn't do that. He said it'll be a long time before we have democracy in China because we know where we need to go. If they voted, they would vote for the wrong people. Yeah, he was unapologetic. He was, had talked about the great economic miracle and everything, but then none of this could happen if you let the people interfere.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure what he articulated is a million miles away from the way, the designers and the, kind of people feel in those institutions in the EU.
Just a little story about this point. Yesterday I was having a drink, and by random I met a lawyer from the European Commission. She didn't know where I was working, and just to have fun I proposed her to read these notes I had in my pocket to check if it was okay, the content was credible and fair. And she started to read, and at this point, when I wrote that even Valéry Giscard d'Estaing was happy to see his text rescued, she told me, but if you say that, Irish will probably be afraid and they will vote no. I said, I don't know, but is the content of what you are reading is correct of my notes? And she answered, yes, but sometimes it's better not to say the truth to people.
If